What's up guys, it's Mike here, back with another video. Alright guys, today we're talking fall fishing baits, and it's that time of year where leaves are coming down, water's getting colder, and these bait fish are moving back up into these little shallow coves. It could be a tricky time of year, especially when the lake turns over. We're going to go over my top 5 baits, pretty much in no particular order. Just kind of depends on the situation and what the fish are doing at that moment. So let's go ahead and start this off. First thing I'm going to do when I get out on the water is throw some type of topwater bait. It's going to be like a whopper plopper, or my favorite is this spook here, and I believe that's in the bone color. I'm going to be throwing topwater baits usually early morning, late afternoon, right before sundown. These fish are going to be coming up topwater. They're going to be feeding on little bugs, they're going to be feeding on flies, little things like that, the bait fish. And the big bass are going to come in and pretty much devour those little guys. So anything that's blasting off the top, boiling up there, trying to replicate that bait. And a spook is a really good choice. I really don't care for buzz baits too much, to be honest with you, so I'm not really throwing a buzz bait, but I am throwing this or a whopper plopper and maybe a popper. But this is probably my favorite one because I can really launch this guy out here super far and pretty much walk it right across the water and get some good bites out of it. So first thing I'm going to throw is a spook. Second thing I'm going to probably throw is going to be a regular old spinnerbait. And guess what? No stinger on the back and no trailer. I just throw it regular right out the package. I don't mess around with cutting the skirts or modifying or anything like that. I just throw it right up out of the package. This one's from Booyah Baits. These guys make really good baits here, good spinner baits. And another thing too is I'm trying to match the bait color. So all my fish in this lake are shad, so they're going to be white and silver. I'm trying to get away from some of the funky colors, the chartreuse and stuff like that, and pinks and oranges, and just pretty much just get back to the basics and just start throwing a bunch of these natural colors. But this bait I'm going to be throwing back here in the shallows, trying to bounce it off of stuff in the bottom. It's a really good weedless setup there. It's kind of hard to get these stuck, but it does happen from time to time. So I'm trying to run it through grass. There is still a little bit of grass sometimes in different parts of the lake that hasn't turned over yet. So trying to run it through there and trying to bounce it over sticks and stuff like that. And the good thing about a spinnerbait too is you can run it shallow right across the top, hit this with bass that are boiling up on top, or you can run it in the medium mid column of the water, or right across the bottom. So good versatile bait. So this is my number 2 choice. Third bait's going to be Squarebill, and I like something that goes down about maybe 3 feet or so. And this is probably going to be something I'm going to throw maybe back here in the shallows, depending on the structure under there. Probably not going to be running this through grass or mud too often, but what I am looking for is like rocky bottoms. So if I make my way over to maybe a cove or something that's close to like a rock dam, something like that, maybe bridge pilings, just kind of depends. I'm trying to knock this thing around in those rocks. It does a fair job of bouncing through like trees and sticks and stuff like that, but since there's really not anything protecting those treble hooks, you can get stuck pretty good. But if you are bold enough to get it in there and run it through there, you're probably going to catch yourself a big old largie. But just know that you're going to get stuck pretty good on those sharp little trebles. So, yep, Squarebill, definitely dynamite. And springtime dynamite too. Okay, so number 4. This is when the bites got a little tough. Okay, so you're out there all day and you're like, man, I'm not catching nothing. Well, I'm gonna go with something like that. Just a straight stick worm, shaky head, and I'm just gonna fish it on light line, probably 8-pound fluoro, and I'm gonna let it go all the way down to the bottom. I'm gonna fish it really slow. Maybe I might hop it a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just gonna dead stick it. I'm gonna dead stick this thing, and I'm gonna drag it And that's for those really, really finicky bass that just really haven't spunked up yet and came back here to really feed up yet. So this is also something I'm gonna throw between docks, around docks, something that I can skip under docks, something that I can get in there really tight. You know, I can pitch it in there and not worried about, you know, the hook getting stuck on anything, you know, because we're just burying it into that little soft plastic. So good all around tough bite bait right here. So trick worm. Last but not least, my absolute go-to bait pretty much all year round, probably my favorite bait. It's gonna be this guy right here. For those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, the curly tail, boy, this thing is dynamite. And I'm fishing it with a quarter size head, so it's got some fair amount of weight to it. You can get this thing down really, really deep. I fish this thing early morning, afternoon, in the night, and it's another one of those great search baits. I mean, you can really, really, really cast it out there super, super far, and you can get it out there deep. You can run it shallow. You know, you can bang it around structure and stuff like that. They're super, super cheap, so you don't have to worry about, you know, losing an arm and a leg when these things get stuck up and you can't retrieve them. But curly tail, absolute favorite fall time bait, just because you can fish it so many different ways, and you know, if they're not hitting on the white, maybe I'll go down to a darker color like a brown or some type of gray or silver, something like that, and just catch a ton of fish on this bad boy. But yeah, not just fall, pretty much all year round, always have a curly tail tied on no matter what. And it actually does really good in the creek too. If you're like targeting smallmouth, if you're out here in you know, the Midwest, tons of smallmouth, they'll hit this bad boy all year long. So curly tail, #1 bait there, guys. And that's pretty much it. Those are my top 5 baits that I pretty much have tied on all fall. And it just kind of depends on what the fish are doing, how the water is, you know, how the weather is for that day. Just kind of depends, you know. We'll switch them up throughout the day and then see what's working. But if you guys like this video, make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up button, and let me know down in the comments box what you guys are throwing for your fall baits. Let me know if I missed anything, or if some of these baits are what you guys go to as well. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. See ya.